We're back to what should hopefully be the final. But we're hacking it. No, we still have quite a bit left to go. I think this was what, Act 3? There's like Act 4 and 5 to go through still. So we're a long ways from done. Well, I'd say we're over halfway done, but still. Still at least a third to go. Yeah. Okay, so. Wait, did I not get loot? Oh. Okay, well that's gonna piss me off. The last piece of loot I need is in the Nilfgaarden camp. But I can't get it unless I attack the Nilfgaardens. But I can't attack the Nilfgaardens because they'll piss off the crew for Hugh. So yeah. Last time, we kept running into shit. Like, we ran into a frickin' Hearthstone thing. Which was mostly RNG. Fighting over puzzle battle. We ran into this and ended up with nothing really happening. And then we were coming up this way, and because we decided to attack a Nilfgaarden caravan, because the Nilfgaardens dropped a avalanche on top of us, which wiped out the majority of my resources, pissed everyone off. And as much as I'd love to murder those sons of bitches, we are still playing politics. And politics sucks. Because it basically says we have to be nice. To not cause any domestic spats with the frickin' doors. They'd be like, oh, you killed the Nilfgaardens on our lands. Well, shame on you. We're not going to help you. Problem though is I'm probably still going to judge that. Hey, I attacked that Nilfgaarden caravan. Shame on you. We're not gonna help you. And then I'm gonna be pissed off because I spared these ones with no loot. See? Loot. And we're just leaving it there. God, that's irritating. Anyway, now I have to go measure some twin decks for people.
When she and her force had traveled half the way to the first, she heard a long roar that made snow shelves detach and descend. Without waiting for her scouts to return with reports, Neve drew her sword.
I'm gonna have to fight a troll or a dragon. Well, that did sound like a dragon. I got to fight a Cyclops. That was not the roar of a Slizzard. Flying over steep mountains over snow easy task. The Lyrians struggled to fight solid furry in the snow. Drop up the spears, eyes spinning up by spectral brows. Where was the beast? They moved to leave, sleeping from rock to rock. Long town scraping immensely against the stone. That was like the sound of a troll or a Cyclops. Not the sound of Slizzards. Game doesn't even know what it's doing anymore. Anyway. Oh. If we're lucky, this will make the men at least not hate us. See, none of these things have orso. Can I have pikemen? There's pikemen. No cap. Oh, you are just being a dick, aren't you?
Ours is not to reason why.
So.
The chase is on!
Yay!
I Favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
Anyway. Yeah, flying from...
Eyes up, lads! They're flying straight for us!
Watch your heads!
Set both roads on fire.
Catch!
I'm not sure which road.
Quite the clever little contraption they gave us. Work of a gnome, of course.
Not sure which road to set to. But
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
just keep going.
One boat, all I need.
I'll take a 2. That was our front row gets burned. Still not quite sure which row I was.
Looking to dance, mate?
Now remember, 5 damage, right? It did 2 damage, though. I'm pretty sure it works like this. When you deploy it, it damages the unit by 5, right? If it's on a row of fire, it damages all units on it by 5. Now, I was thinking it damages all units on the row by, 5. Which would be 5, 5, 5, 5. But no, it seems like it damages all units on a row by 5 in total. Also supposed to trigger this very when played, so... I think this card's a bit bugged. Because it doesn't do what it says it should do. Which makes me a bit disappointed that I have it in my deck. Because it's like, it should damage all units by 5, right? But it damages them by like the total of 5. It also doesn't do it when it's supposed to, because when it's deployed, it's supposed to just instantly damage them, right? Or maybe they just got hurt by the fire and it did nothing. That could also be a thing. In which case, that makes that card completely useless. Unless I hit a unit that is on fire by 5. I'm gonna remove most of those from my deck, because they're stupid and broken.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Archer,
Give me a time.
are you ready for that?
Take those measurements and let's be gone from this place.
The Lyrians managed to repel the monsters and reach both peaks. Upon each, Meve ordered her men to take the measurements. While waiting, she admired the breathtaking view of the Mahakaman Massif.
Yeah, while we freeze to death.
The dwarven contraption left no room for doubt.
I thought it was a
The peak
no.
within the Dahlberg clan territory was 2 feet higher than that within Hoog territory. Gabor was clearly displeased with the results.
Damn it all! I'd hoped you'd prove Brewer's clan was in the right. He'd have been content to see the Dalbergs knocked down a peg or two, and, possibly, he'd have been more inclined to help you.
Said the dwarf in frustration.
Gonna
Then,
have
after a pause, he added,
Although, only you saw what the device showed, Queen. Perhaps you could, recalibrate the results a wee bit?
'Tis most lowly and ignoble.
Ake cried out in protest.
A knight his honour would never stain with such a lie.
I've done enough.
To lie would be simple, true.
Said Meave.
Yet to forget the matter would be so much harder. No, Gabor,
Like,
I shall
I've
tell the
done-
truth.
The Queen's tone made it
Enough.
clear the discussion was over. Gabor let the matter lie, and Meave's force began its descent down the mountainside.
Like, seriously, we let those frickin' things live. I've done enough. Now it would be fine if it doesn't actually matter, and proof just gives you the same amount of help, or the lack of help. Even if you did everything right. Yeah, that would probably piss me off too. Oh yeah, you gained his power. I like how she's only 3 though. Pretty sure she's a lot higher than that in the deck. Nah, she's only a 5. She just takes way too much resources. Now then, where are my strays to swallow? I'm gonna keep 2 of them. What do I want to replace them with, though? That's very situational. I think I'm just probably gonna save space for most of the units. Well, let's see what can I put back in. Did I remove something? Better like a 3. Let's put drummer back in. I mean, drummers are fine. Where's my drummers? There's some drummers. Where's our stray cavalry? Prepare alchemist is on, but I don't kill alchemist. That could put more sappers in, don't kill for sappers. Thought about putting those in, but they're not that great of a card, honestly. Could put another stray bomber in. Or, oh yeah, a war wagon. I guess I could put a war wagon back in, and now I have 1 more. Then I could put another stray bomber in, just because. And now we're a good solid 300. Until for now. Of course, that's subject to change. By the way I said about those dwarves.
The dwarves of both clans had been waiting with bated breath for the expedition's return and report. As soon as Meve announced the results, the Dahlbergs rolled barrels of beer out into the square and began to celebrate. Naturally, the Hoogs were disappointed, yet they accepted Meve's results as final. At last, they had come to trust her.
Well, at least they're not murdering each other. I mean, Brother Who's gonna be like, meh.
Dalbergs are the dwarves we need. Every hoog's their dunderheed. Dalbergs are the dwarves.
You're just gonna start out with might as well pick up this loot. Can't get that one piece of loot. Makes me
For
sad.
frostbite, you'd best avail yourself of some onion juice. Even better if you had a wee nip of vodka. Oh, snotters are frozen solid. And not just those in my beard. Like up my nose too. Once we're neath Carbon, we'll find our way to the tavern. Set our arses down by the fire. And sit and mug them. Once we're neath once we're...
Oh, hey. Wait.
As Meve neared Langbridge, she ordered her bugler to announce her arrival, then retired to her tent to freshen up. Gascon was already inside, awaiting her.
I was going to touch the signpost, again.
I do not seem to recall summoning you.
I guess.
In that case, I must tell you to fret not. Nothing wrong with your memory. I've come with no agenda. Spontaneously, call it, to chat.
Gascon, I'm not going to sleep with you.
Then I propose you leave, just as spontaneously, call it. I must don fresh clothes. I'm to see the Elder soon, and I'd prefer to not smell of horse sweat.
Doubt it'd make much difference to him. And be assured, I know what I speak of. When last we met, I found myself standing downwind of him. A pungent experience.
Well, you were saved the experience of his breath. So pungent I thought I might faint.
Well, to revive you, pinch you awake, I'm sure would be quite a pleasure.
Gascon, we're not going to sleep.
Gascon! I beg your pardon.
Is that?
Ugh, I shall have nightmares now.
Not tonight. For I fear you might not sleep at all. You see, there's something you ought to know. And decidedly before you meet with Bruver. The sites we cleared of beasts, I ferreted a bit. Noted something peculiar. Any notion what it was?
None. The monumental dwarven architecture, perhaps?
Bones, my dear Meve. Dwarven bones. Now, guess what I found on them?
Wait, don't dare give me any hints. Bite marks.
Of course. After all, they'd been gnawed clean of all flesh by monsters, incidentally making it quite easy to spot other markings. Ones made by axes and swords. To be certain, I showed the bones to our medics, and they confirmed my conclusion.
Meaning what? That the entire clan, the Fuchses,
did not perish due to an invasion of beasts from the depths. The monsters merely ate the bodies and occupied empty homes.
So, Gabber's been
Now,
lying to me.
I shared my discovery with Gabor, and guess what he did? He panicked. He started to squirm, babble nonsense. I wager my right arm he's hiding something.
That would make sense, though, if you think about it. He was there to meet us and has escorted us the entire way through, directing the course of our events. Like, he's basically been like, oh, we need to go do this to help our relationship. We need to go do this.
blast. Overly eager to aid us from the start he was. I might have sent something. I shall have him summoned at once. And I thank you, Gascon. I won't forget this.
Thanks, Gaston. See, Gaston
Minutes
is
later,
honestly
Gabor
one
stood
of the
before the
most
Queen.
loyal men.
At first, he tried to mislead her with evasive answers, but, As her pointed questions demolished one clumsy excuse after another, he had to give in.
As I said, Renaud, always trust Renaud. He's our... That's what we were told from the beginning. Always trust Renaud. Gascon, honestly, he's had so many attempts where we could just let us die. But he's actually pretty freaking loyal, honestly. I mean, he got us out of the city. He could have easily been bribed and killed us at any point, honestly. And since he controls half my army, technically, but anyway.
Hoy. As King Desmond said after a hefty squirt in his hose, we can't sweep this under the rug.
If you think I welcome jests in this moment, you err. My fingers itch to summon the hangman.
Right. So. 'Tis true. I misled you. On our clan elder's orders, supposed to make sure you destroyed Burr's Rump and Davor's Abyss thoroughly enough to leave nae a trace.
What? Why? What did they wish to hide?
They was home to the Fuchses, our mortal enemies. They'd been a-boiling our heinies for ages, thumbing their noses, taking what they want when they want, and the Elder-in-Chief didn't gie a ploughing whit. So to stop them, our clan, we did the unpardonable. The Ziggurin elders saw their chance and they...
Gods. So you were responsible for the deaths of all those dwarves?
Well, but what about the spire?
Me? I didn't raise a finger. Tried to stop them, in fact.
You say that, but you used me.
No witnesses survived, meaning you must have murdered the entire clan. How?
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that would have pissed off the Elder-in-Chief, so...
Queen, you sure you...
I am. And you should be sure to answer in full, omitting no detail.
A few years back, we got pummeled by a horrendous winter. Stone-breaking frosts, whiteout storms, avalanches. Made travelling a painful form of suicide. Hunger drove beasts out of their dens. Pass was covered in the filth. Got to where they paced right outside the walls. Fuchses fought a hard, bloody fight to keep the critters out of Davor's Abyss. Lost near every axe-wielding dwarf they had. Only survivors had to winter at Burr's Rump. Our elders felt such an opportunity wouldn't knock again. After killing the town's meagre guard, they set fire to it and barricaded the gates. They didn't stand a chance.
Bastards.
Yeah.
How in the world did the truth go undiscovered?
Once it were over, our dwarves opened the gates. Before they'd lit their pipes, starving beasts came crawling out of the pass. The stank of dead flesh were strong. Zigrins who came back from that never were the same. If you'd only gandered their gaze when they had us all take a vow of silence. And then...
You invented that blarney about primeval monstrosities the Fuchses had awoken by mining too deep. A riveting tale, and one with a moral to boot.
Aye. But the elders worried Bruver would suspect something all the same. That's why they wanted you to destroy all the evidence.
Repugnant. You claim not to have taken part, but neither did you do anything to stop the massacre.
What was I to do exactly? The elders had decided. Nae a dwarf would listen to me.
You might have informed the Elder-in-Chief. The guilty would have been punished.
The guilty? You dinna ken Bruva. He'd punish the whole clan. Women, children, nae exceptions.
So basically, we trade one clan for the sake of your clan.
Maeve, Queen, I'm begging you. He canna ever learn of this. Aye, I want a hack flame too when I think what the Elder's done. But t'other way it'd bring but more pain and death.
I need to consider what's right. Meanwhile, Gascon, make sure Gabor remains our guest.
Of course. I'll let you know if he so much as rolls his eyes towards an escape route.
Okay. Hey, Brew. So, I like that. You're about done. Well, what about that? What about those? You say I'm done, but yet there's still things. You know that pisses me off still. I have to do one thing though before we continue. Go back to the tent. There we go. Got all the golden chests. Got mower, hopefully most all that. So hopefully we've done enough to make Groove not hate us. I mean, we did like maybe 3 things that would have earned his approval. But good.
Bruva stood by the bridge like a statue, arms crossed, eyes squinting. Maeve sighed inside. She stood little chance of having a pleasant chat.
Elder-in-Chief, sir.
No Sharon and Grayson here, lass. Ploughing humans. Always out to fix things, always end up cocking them up.
Hey, I tried to.
You think you're due glory, do you? Monster Slayer Maeve? Patroness of dwarves? Blast it.
Hey, I didn't murder those Nilfgaardians.
What do you think? Why didn't I exterminate those beasts myself, eh? Go on, tell me!
For you.
For I didn't want to. For something didn't fit, damn it. So I resolved to not destroy their nests and evidence till I learned the truth of who done it.
Postponed it all those years expressly. Though your subjects were dying.
I didn't need no lectures from the likes of you. Justice must be served. That's worth any price. And I was close. Had leads. And now, it's all gone to hell. You flooded Devor's abyss. You brought Borough's rump down on itself. And I'll never ken who killed the Fuchses. Understand? Never!
Decisions. So I could sell out the secrets. Could totally sell out the secrets. But do I want to sell out the secrets? I mean, that means I'm probably gonna lose Gabor. But Gabor honestly isn't that useful of a card, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to look at things in the long game. In the short game, yeah, I'm sorry, me. It's probably gonna come against me, and he's not gonna give me support. But if I settle the civilians, how's that gonna affect me in the long run? I mean, I'm obviously gonna lose Galbor. A lot of dwarves are probably going to end up dead. Their entire clan's probably going to end up dead or cast out of the mountains, something stupid like that. But honestly, Galbor isn't that great of a card. But even if we got him up to Galbor plus, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you could play these trinkets from your deck. My trinkets are all in my hand, not in my deck, so it's useless. That one slightly more useful, but still. However, those Galbor's have been useful. I mean, he has his own agenda. I'm still not sure who the spy is, because I thought maybe it was Galbor, but now I'm not sure. Maybe it is. I don't know. Ugh. Do I have a coin? Don't think I have a coin anymore. What do I have? That's not a coin, that's a keyboard. What the hell is it? I should have a coin. There's a coin. Please dust this out. Okay, so heads we go sorry, tails we go Zigrins. Oh god, where'd that coin go? Jesus, it's all the way over there. Yep, landed on heads, so.
My sincere apologies. I did not know.
We did not know.
Course you didn't, humans. First they cock it up, then they ask how it works. Ah.
Well, he's not gonna be happy with us, because we did the bad. We did the bad.
I'm most eager to give that braid of yours a yank and kick you out beyond the gate. But I canna, for the clans are grateful to you. Fools. Fools, all fools. They forced me to give you an audience, official-like, with witnesses, all at the foot of Mount Carbon.
So, yeah. We spared the Zigrins.
Come on, then. Time to move on. But I'm going to wring you out so hard you'll wish you never left that Nilfgaardian dungeon.
But we're probably not going to get the support we need.
Bruver set off at a brisk pace, cursing under his breath. The Queen took a deep breath, counted to 5 in her head, and set off after him.
And this is probably going to go bad. And you know, you can't just go back and get that treasure now that things are taken care of. But no, we're past the gate. Which means we have to go this way. Yay. On land bridges, strictly for a bend to stop, jump. Lean over the edge, stop for rest, carvings and handrails.
Wanted to hunt monsters, eh? Ooh, Elder's furious. Spits flying 10 feet. Let humans neath carbon. Didn't he? Oh, elders.
Dwarves demonstrate innovative thinking in many domains. Metallurgy, engineering, architecture. Yet there is one in which they could not be bothered. Naming. For this reason, the bridge that linked the Mahakam Pass with Mount Carbon was simply named Langbridge. Meve learned it was a thoroughly fitting name. Having stopped for a breath halfway across the road suspended over a deep chasm, the Queen could see neither end of the bridge, both concealed by thick clouds.
Amazing.
Whispered the Queen.
I feel as though we traversed the very sky.
The Queen and her retinue were nearing Mount Carbon when Meve heard a cry. It was Xavier.
Hold! Hold!
Meve drew in her reins abruptly. Her mare neighed and reared, lifting the Queen above her formation of men. From that height, she saw the last pier of the bridge crumbling. The dwarves at the head of the procession were unable to stop in time and plummeted, screaming into the abyss.
What's the meaning of this, God damn it?
Bruva roared.
Fetch the engineers! Now!
Why is your bridge collapsing?
The Queen was striving to calm her spooked mount when she sensed something swish past her ear. Out of nowhere, a Scoia'tael band had appeared at the rear of the column. Before anyone could react, elven archers had felled the rear guard. The soldiers lay on the bridge's stone surface with arrows in their backs. Meve was trapped. In one direction lay the chasm, in the other, a fierce foe. She had no choice but to stand and fight.
Why? Here we are at the end of this level. Map, whatever. And oh, Scoia'tael suddenly show up. Why? What do you hope to gain from this? Oh, because I saved those one doors from joining the Scoia'tael? Learn to watch the disbelief of Scoia'tael set the thirds of Manhattan guards. How could this be? Non-humans against non-humans? To what end? Could it be the outer races do not uniformly support the Squirrel's cause? No doubt these questions are more plagued than men's thoughts. Yet this was not the time to entertain. This was the time to fight. You need courage to prepare this battle. Once again, why are we fighting the Scoia'tael? Why? Black Rayla, where are you? I need you with your benefits against Scoia'tael. Alright, I kicked you out because you'd be too racist for diplomatic reasons. Oh, we can play Bruverhoog. Go to play an Ansdorf. Cavalry, pikemen. Yeah, sure, why not?
At last, Renna! You are mine!
We trapped you, Grace, but we can try and fight our way through.
Whenever you move to the cliff, destroy it. Oh, I'm going down with it by 5 and Jason is by 2 because I'm an asshole. Damage by 2 of theirs. Alright. Boosted damage by 6. Pikeman.
Pays late. Again.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Yeah, a field medic. That's totally gonna help me.
I'm a won't say.
At least the Arbalest helps me.
Special prize. Just for you, love.
I was like, if it's smart, shoot that. Every 2 turns or turns or summon a random elf from your deck. Oh no, not the elves. So basically what they do is they push them off the cliff. Which I mean...
Think think you ballbags can do whatever the devils you please? This is Mahakam!
I mean...
Ah!
I'm off the cliff with you.
Nay, Dwan ve camest.
Spawn, okay.
To the last!
And get the hell off the bridge. Oh, you're not gonna shoot her again? I was hoping you would shoot her again. Well, none of my units was really boosted, so well.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Show me the coin or sod off.
Try to murder prove her own thing. I mean,
Water is a poison.
I was hoping you'd say that.
could push him off, but I could also just, you know, zap. Let's just try so hard to move everything. So hard to try. So I don't know what that card is. Can I can't push it off either. That's. Well, how about we heal him and boost units? How about we do that? So what's your hidden card?
Blood and neck ends. Similian Vat.
Good. Response themselves. Still not refilling the card though. Oh, this is great. This is one of the best cards for this map.
Hey?
You did. You freaking asshole. The last time you're going to place a unit of higher power damage it to the power. Yeah, good. Anyway, I'm going to throw your units off the cliff now. Bye.
Now we will see who is weak.
Uh-huh. See who's weak, okay? Pretty much murdered all of them. So who's that?
May your sword and arm be one.
Oh, you can destroy people who's gone to you special. How about let's murder you? Oh, and I could have, can't have those. Oh, I know, let's play a royal decree. Nope. Anyway, we murdered everyone.
No! Blood-Arena! She must die!
Wow.
Their strength combined, the Lyrians and dwarves managed to defeat the Scoia'tael. The guerrillas had weakened the last span of the bridge, turning the crossing into a deadly trap. Had Xavier, who noticed the weakened structure at the last instant, not called out, all would have fallen into the chasm. The Lyrians managed to capture the unit commander. She stood, her head raised high, and when Meve glared at her, she did not avert her eyes.
Let's save you. Anyway, the Lyrians managed to capture you. No, yeah, we can Crow's Eye. What the hell that does. Probably gonna have to wait until next map.
What is your name, elf?
Abayeth Metaparstwan.
Okay.
She said,
Thank you, Reynard. I know well what she said. Kiss my arse, is that truly the best you can muster?
I'd rather show you exactly what I can muster. Tell them to unbind me.
You got your opportunity. On the battlefield. Will you not tell me what they call you? Fine. It's all the same to me. I'm more interested to know how you came to be here. Who sent you?
No one. It was my decision to kill you, and thus avenge Eldain.
Oh, God. You killed Eldain back in Act 2. In the cemetery, instead of letting him live. Yeah, but he was being a douchebag and terrorizing our army the entire way, so there was no reason for me not to kill him. I should have killed those Nilfgaardians, but I had a reason not to kill him, because I'm trying to make Bruver happy, but I don't think it's gonna help, because I had to lie to him because of the stupid dwarves.
Do you remember him? The elf whom you denied a burial? Whom you left in an open field to rot?
I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning. Bring Black Rayla with me, and have her stab you in the other eye.
You've elven blood on your hands. The blood of the elves of the Moulderwood.
I don't like elves. I do not regret the fate. I do not like elves. I like dwarves. I don't like elves. Simple as that.
Eldain was a criminal. He got what he deserved.
Exactly.
You call him a criminal? What do you call humans who murder our kind in pogroms? Who massacre us? What do you call Black Rayla who fought at your side?
And she was a racist bitch.
Do not dare compare us. Do not dare!
Trying my best.
Enough. I've heard all I wish to hear.
But I haven't. Did you fall on your heed, elf, eh? If you want to fight humans, go on and do it. You cannot talk sense to idiots that nae here, damn it. Mahakam is and will be neutral.
You cannot be neutral. To Dwan, you are either their foe or their dog. Mahakam has stood aside sleeping long enough. That is why we struck it in its very heart. As a call to battle. A call to brethren whom you, Elder, have kept from the world too long.
I have kept him away. I've been bloody right to do so. You want to play at war, you numpties? You want to force the Pontar to flow upstream? Gang right ahead. Good riddance, I say. Gan kill, gan die if you fancy. But gods damn it, leave us alone. Yeah, I should kill you. With my own hands. I should cut your throat, put you out of your misery. That's what you want, innit? To die? To die a stupid death? Well, I'll not grant you that. Nay, nay, I'll lock you in a tower. Sit there 3 centuries, and you just might grow a brain.
Bruver Hoog gazed after the shackled elf as she was led away.
Well.
Neve expected him to continue fuming, cursing her. But the dwarf stood silent. And his old eyes, half concealed by brows bushy as a forest floor, showed not anger, but the deepest sadness. Dwarven engineers made quick work of repairing the crumbled bridge span.
Yeah, I mean, that looks so, you know, we have this majestic bridge made of iron, stone. Let's just put some wood on top of it. It'll do. At least we're getting our money back that we lost due to the avalanche. Not even entirely sure what I could spend it on. No, I guess I was just planting those outlined. Oh yeah, we're getting crow sign. Move 6 random enemies to the upper row and damage them by 2. I mean... yeah. So now that we've tried so hard to not
Look,
piss the dogs
Mount
off.
Carbon. Damn! And I thought Novigrad was big.
Wipe your feet, cover the build, before and guard night. Carbon's hard to get you. You're the throb, you're a dark down, not a slave.
So the elves are against us. Against our elder. Treacherous hounds. Truth be
Yes,
told, I
let's murder all
supported the
the
Scoia'tael
elves.
afore. No, I wish every last one of them dead. Dead! Long-eared bastards. Raising our own saplings against us in rebellion. Sowing unrest. Violence. In the mountains.
Those knife-filled pricks, I swear, we should murder them all. I just want to go watch that one video over again. Oh well.
The Lyrians stepped inside Mount Carbon's bowels. Neve rode while looking upwards, admiring the intricately carved ceiling, gilded walls, monumental bas-reliefs carved from basalt. Yet this was no time to admire the sights. Bruverhoog had summoned her to speak.
I thank you for your invitation, Elder.
He's gonna be upset, but hopefully we did enough good.
My invitation? Choice term, lass. You wangled your way in here. Long I've lived, but ne'er have I seen a wench so stubborn.
We are pretty stubborn.
With all due respect, do you not feel like a pot conversing with a kettle?
Ha! True enough. Changes of mind dinna come easy to me, but they do come at times.
Yeah, we're stubborn, he's stubborn. At least we're both smart.
Human wars concern me not at all. For so many they are, who could count them? Near a year goes by without one wanking king invading another's realm. A dog with scabies is less restless. That's why, this morning, I aimed to send you off with nothing. Mattered not what the clans were saying. Rivia, Schmivia, who gives a sheep's fart? But that was this morn, before that daft wench and her pups attacked. Nilfgaard supports the Scoia'tael, it's common knowledge. Nilfgaard uses them. Well, I'm nae worse, and I choose to use Queen Meave.
So, I'm trying my best not to, you know.
So what use would you make of me, if I might ask? You've a plan?
Aye, the kind dwarves like best. Simple, but sneaky.
Since we're no dwarves. Anyway. My whole problem is, it almost seems like the game's not even judging me on my choices. So it's like, oh, you could murder those Nilfgaards. He wouldn't have cared. He's only judging me on that one Scoia'tael that tried murdering him. That's the only thing that matters to him.
Like to give Nilfgaard a warning, you ken. If you're going to rile my dwarves, throw 'em into the Scoia'tael ranks, you'll regret it, aye? But I'd like to issue the warning without declaring war. All clear to you so far? So, when you march out of Mahakam, you'll find a company of our foot dwarves waiting out with the gate. Officially, volunteers enlisting with you against my will. And you're to put them at the fore next time you face Nilfgaard. Want the Blacklads to break their teeth on our bucklers, get a taste of our axe blades. After that, dare say they'll think twice before they send more Scoia'tael into these hells.
I swear he's completely ignoring everything else we did. And it's just like, oh yeah, those Scoia'tael.
I do not... Thank you, Elder. You restore my hope that I shall have my home back in the end.
Faith can move mountains, aye, but it can't do much about borders. I've watched you close, and must admit you're a plucky lass. That enough for Nilfgaard? Canna be sure.
We will see. We shall know soon.
Oh, gain the volunteer corps. Yay, I don't know what that is, but okay. We gained a Mahakam Angler. So there was only two. Mahakam Shield Rail.
I would like to march at once. So by your leave...
Nay, not granted. At once? What's that mean? Our laws are clear. Guests are to be sent off with a thundering feast. Even the humans.
Well, at least we get a feast.
Bruver, as was Bruver's wont, insisted. So the Queen accepted the invitation, but as was her wont, set a condition. The feast was to last but one night, and not, as was the wont of local custom, an entire week. Meve was on her way back to her company when who should step in front of her if not Gabor?
Ah, yes, Gabor. I didn't murder your entire clan. Happy?
To what do I owe this pleasure? Do the Zigrins wish to use me once more? Accomplish aught else with my aid?
Could be, but if so, tain't none of my concern.
Why is that?
For I've resolved to leave Mahakam for all time.
So he's coming with us. He's gonna be our loyal
And where will you go?
dwarf.
Dinna ken. Wherever you lead me.
I beg your pardon.
Your Grace. Meve. I betrayed your trust. Tricked you outright. In spite of that, you kept my confidence. Risking everything. To say I'm grateful's just a wee understatement. I'm indebted to you. Deeply so.
See, we wouldn't be having this conversation if the coin actually said, get rid of the Zigrins.
Please let me pay it off. Let me fight at your side. Heed to hip with you.
But also, I'm pretty sure people who... Like, it's... It bothers me, because it's like... It makes this whole thing where, oh yeah, we gotta make Kruger, he was happy, but... You know, we really gave it down about the Scoia'tael. What about my con... This game gives me mixed feelings, because it's like we attacked that Nilfgaard convoy, we got hit by an avalanche. So we got punished for doing bad. So we didn't murder the Nilfgaardians, even though we should have, because they had loot in them, and it was the right thing to do. But we didn't murder them because we wanted to make Bruver happy, but in the end, he only gave a damn about the Scoia'tael that attacked us at the end. It's like... this entire time they're judging my decisions. But then they pour telltale where the decisions don't even matter. Except for the final decision involving the score of death. That wasn't even a decision. Yet, Gabber's soul. You know what, why not?
Gabor, vindictive I am not.
Oh, thank you, Maeve.
Yet neither am I stupid. You may join our ranks, I agree. Yet trick me once more, in the tiniest manner, and I shall show you no mercy. Is that clear?
Chastened, Gabor merely nodded to confirm. Maeve extended her hand for the dwarf to kiss as a sign of submission. Yet he simply wrapped his arms around her waist and squeezed.
Hugs.
When the sun had retired behind the peaks, the underground city came alive with the sound of bugles, bagpipes, and horns. The dwarves emerged out into the central square and danced exuberantly, sparks kicking up from their hobnail boots. The usually crabby Elder-in-Chief Hoog proved a cordial host that evening.
Let's drink, lest our neck shafts grow cobwebs!
Suddenly a messenger arrived. Bruver lifted his copper horn to his ear and listened with furrowed brow.
What's that? Speak up!
When she saw a sour grin on his face, Maeve knew the tidings were not good. Yet she did not suspect they pertained to her directly.
Maeve, you expecting anyone?
Maybe Black Rayla? I don't know.
How's that?
Runner says a delegation's arrived at Carbon. Freyliria and Rivia. Got a Nilfgaardian escort.
Oh, shit.
How dare they? Traitors. Who leads it?
You'd best sit.
Who leads the delegation?
It's your son, Willem, I fear.
Great.
Willem.
Mahakam remains neutral as regards all your squabbles. I trust I needn't remind you. So I'll have no scrambling or shoving, and certainly no bloodshed. Point of fact, I'd prefer it if you...
I wish to speak to him.
I'd forbid you, but, as I said, never seen a more stubborn wench. Alrighty then, jabber away with him. Just remember, hands to yourself.
No murder nor slaughter.
Maeve spotted banners, a Lyrian eagle upon one surrounded by Nilfgaard's black rags. Her hands became fists, showing how helpless she felt. Then her son and rival, Willem, emerged from behind a row of Imperial footmen.
My. I should apologize. It seems I missed the coronation. Congratulations, my son. Who was it who placed the crown? General Ebdahi?
Count Caldwell.
Oh yeah, that asshole.
Ah, yes. Our elder statesman. Why have you come here, of all places? To acquire arms for Nilfgaard?
As my official mission, yes. Yet unofficially, I wish to speak with you. I trust you've had tidings from the field. Edirn turned to ash and dust. Vizimir murdered Redania in chaos. Foltest forced to strike a pact by his vassals betrayed, Henselt the same.
I'm trying to remember Vizmil. Who? Vizmil. It sounds familiar, but I can't place who. Oh, yeah, Vizmil was the king of Redania. Before... What's his face? Radovid took over. Yeah, so things aren't going well in the north.
This limerick, will it come to a point?
Why, yes. To the same as this war. Mother, I beg you, you must see it. Nilfgaard's victory is inevitable. Surrender now, and I shall show you mercy. For later it'll be too late.
I mean, we are stuck. Thing is, if you think about it, we know Nilfgaard doesn't win this time. Because there's, you know, the Third War in Witcher 3. Which technically Nilfgaard did win because of our choices. Because we did murder Radovid. Which means, because if Radovid lives, then North sort of wins. With Radovid. He might be insane, but he's still pretty good at strategy. Then the fact that Nilfgaard was having, you know, internal trouble because trying to win, I mean, they've attacked the north 3 times. That takes a lot out of resources. Which pissed off the whole merchants, companies, and trade. Because you're spending all the resources on war. And that's causing economic crises in your own lands. But anyway, back to the Second War. Well, we're being stopped.
There will be no later. We shall repel them, drive them south at the points of our pikes.
I mean, I do have pikemen.
This we, Mother? Who precisely do you mean? You stand alone.
I don't stand alone, you dumbass.
An impression many might have indeed. Yet I've allies. Those long loyal, and those new.
Where, Mother? In Zerrikania? For here, in the north, why, there are none. The fight is done.
Your friends from Nilfgaard will learn that is simply not true, when their ignorance bites them in the arse.
You know what we should get? We should get a bunch of sorcerers. Like how we won the first. Because I believe the first war was Nilfgaard came up and was like, oh, we're going to invade. But then there was the Sorcerer's Lodge and mages and stuff. And they were like, oh shit, they have mages. The hell are we going to do about that? But now Nilfgaard has mages, so it sort of balances it out. But we need more mages. I mean, we have one mage who's dedicated herself to healing, and that doesn't exactly help us that well.
So you aim to persist? Whatever for?
'Cause I'm
for our
stubborn.
freedom. For independence.
'Cause America. That's
curious. I could have sworn it was for your ambition, to soothe your wounded pride. When I was crowned, a fact you deride, though that makes it no less true, I swore the good of my subjects would guide me. And a war we are doomed to lose cannot in any way benefit them.
I mean, he has a point.
And slavery can. You know well the Blackclads put peasants in chains, like cattle.
Sounds pretty nice. I mean, they're a vassal state. They aren't exactly enslaved. They just basically pay tax and put Nilfgaard's banner on top of their banners. And they pretty much rule themselves. basically what we did with Marion, Witcher 3. Cause, I mean, it's better being slaves and it's better than being all murdered.
Reprehensible, I agree, but...
And resettlement? Forced labour? Cruel laws that make death the punishment for the slightest offences? Are those benefits? Well, answer me!
I see I will not sway you, Mother. A shame, though I take comfort in the fact I tried. And now, adieu.
Oh no, I, not you, will decide when this conversation is over.
Oh, have we anything else to discuss?
Are you perhaps aware that the Nilfgaardians tried to kill me?
What? No, I heard only about an avalanche.
Yeah, there was an avalanche to get me
Which
murdered.
tumbled down through no small effort of an Imperial envoy.
Never would I have agreed to such a heinous act.
Yeah, I like that. The Nilfgaardians tried to kill me. What about all of those Nilfgaardians that tried to kill me back in Avatar?
I believe you.
I'm heartened that despite all we...
No,
I believe you because I believe the Nilfgaardians wouldn't ever have asked your opinion.
Is that?
Think on it, son. Are you their ally or their tool? Can you ever be sure?
I am the King of Lyria and Rivia. To serve my subjects' best interests, I am prepared to make even the most painful concessions.
So he's going to check it up the ass. For the subject's best interest.
Might I leave now? Or is there more?
So how did you know
Naturally. How did you know you would find me here?
I received Nilfgaardian reports to the effect that you've been seen in the pass.
Remember that thing where we have a spy and all that?
Oh, roses are red and so are your cheeks, my son. As ever when you're caught in a lie.
His cheeks are pretty red.
Lyria is 2 weeks' travel hence. Had you received word only once I was here, we'd have been long gone from Mahakam by the time you assembled a force and completed the march. No. You were forewarned of our intended route. It means I've a traitor in my ranks.
We
Another
already
one.
know that. Oh, besides Gavra.
Get out of my sight, villain. And pray we only ever face one another on neutral ground.
Meve struggled inside not to turn and gaze once more at her son. He'd changed since they'd last faced each other, grown manlier, and he wore the crown well.
So yeah, you remember that whole thing where we still have a Nilfgaardian traitor I met? It's like you'd think Gabber was it when he announced that, but no, Gabber gave nothing of a hint that he was serving Nilfgaard. He only basically hinted that, hey, Clan Zergon wants all this evidence covered up. Go do this and we can put in a good word with Brotherhood. Which didn't really help because Brotherhood just wanted us to out them, but we didn't out them, so. Anyway, we still have a traitor. The question is who?
The Queen returned to the banquet hall. Her advisors shot her questioning glances, curious what she had discussed with Bruver. But Meve decided to keep the details to herself. One of them wore a Nilfgaardian lead around his neck. Until she knew who, she would have to remain vigilant.
Who could it be?
Feasting's done, Reynard. We must consider our next move.
Oh god, it could be Reynard. He's wearing black and yellow. No, it can't be Reynard. That would be stupid.
I've thought on it, Your Grace. We've strength enough to hit the foe, but still not the numbers to face him in open battle.
I mean, Gascon could be likely, but yet he's also proved very valuable and loyal technically. Gabber, I don't think it's Gabber. I mean, it could be or no, but at the same time, it doesn't actually make sense. Given the time when we got him compared to the time it would take for Lyria to get up him for, you know, Wilhelm get uphill. Don't think there's enough time in between. I mean, you still look suspicious as hell. So who do we have left? Black Rayla's already been disbanded, so I don't think it's her. She's Lord Adrian, so probably her. Xavier, I'm not sure about. I mean, I don't see a reason for him to be loyal to Nilfgaard because, you know, given his wounds, that would be stupid. Who's left? Oh, maybe it was Knickers this whole time. The dogs betrayed me. Who else do we have? Isabel. That would... maybe it's all a clever ruse for her wanting peace. She's secretly a sorceress spy. Trying to act like we shouldn't fight each other, but instead is aiding the enemy from the inside. I don't
So what do you propose?
This war we cannot win alone, nor even with the dwarves at our side. But if we secure a victory, small yet symbolic, we shall show the other realms of the north all is not yet lost. Thus, I propose we attack behind the front lines, somewhere well clear of any major Imperial force.
Where would you suggest?
I'm considering Angren.
Maybe we should
to begin with, a thickly wooded marshy land, always helpful in clandestine operations. Secondly, the land strategically important, as it's the chief source of building material for Nilfgaard's fleets.
All too little, I fear. Since we require a victory that would be symbolic, we must strike where it shall hurt, and Angren...
Just recently welcomed a new regent, in the person of Count Coldwell, my third argument. Naturally, if your Majesty wishes, I'm prepared to present alternatives to this.
No need. We march at dawn.
Reason. Let's go to Count Caldwell.
Niamh had toiled, cajoled, persuaded, and gained the dwarves' support. She left Mahakam strengthened, markedly. Even so, the Queen was in a foul mood. For it was clear a traitor, a viper, nested among the Lyrians. Someone who had conveyed the Queen's plans to her foe. From this moment on, Niamh would need to weigh every word she uttered, even in the presence of her closest associates.
I get what you're trying to do.
Your Grace, we must plot our course forward. Shall we take the western passage into Angren, or...
Not now.
When, then? Dawn approaches, yet we know nothing of where...
I will not repeat myself.
The Queen knew she would learn the traitor's identity in the end. If need be, she would tear the name from the throat of another turncoat, Count Caldwell. Niamh drooled at the prospect of seeing Caldwell in chains, then passing him to the hangman.
Saddle the horses. I shall take the fore.
The time for diplomacy, for preparations and negotiations had gone. Niamh was to attack her foe at last, and she could not wait to do so.
Finally, we're done with Mahakaram. Yay. There's a video gets edged along because of all this talking and dialogue, and me trying to summarize things. But yeah, now that I think about it, it would have to... It could be Reynard. And that's stupid.
At long last, Niamh's force reached Angren's marshy woods. Ever been? No? Count yourselves lucky.
Are you certain we haven't lost our way?
Alas, here there is no way. We continue south, that's all.
South, meaning the bottom.
Should you ever venture there, I offer you this advice. Do your utmost to make no noise. Poor soul. His comrades cried out, reached out, But alas, amidst frothing waters, they heard bones cracking, the moan of metal bent and crushed.
What the... Bloody hell, what was that?
Rather not know, personally.
Hold your positions! Arms at the ready!
Not ready for enough.
It was a glusty warp. One of many the Lyrians would encounter along their path. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. At last, Meve and her force stood upon the Yaruga's bank. To find and punish the traitor Caldwell, they would have to cross the river. Yet the sole bridge nearby was in Nilfgaard's hands.
So can I finally get back to playing?
Your Majesty, some new reports require your attention.
So, what do we have to do? Deploy the scouts. Deploy additional scouts. Deploy more scouts. Oops, I didn't want to do close. Okay, so basically we are going this way. Don't see where to go to. Left, now, probably go all this way around. Cave, swamp. Where is that? Well, this looks fun. Where is that? Am I headed to? I mean, I don't really see a place that looks like an ending. Yeah, that looks like what maybe Count Caldwell is, but then it keeps going. Like the last place on the map though would be over here. But yet, so how would you reach over here actually? I don't see a path that actually leads over there. Huh, weird. Okay, well, at least we know what to expect now. Oh, let me see all the dialogue and stuff. Yeah, thinking about it, could be Renwood who's the trader, but the problem with that is if it's actually Renwood or Gascon, remember, Gascon's units make up half our army. And technically, I was going to say, technically Renward's units make up the other half, but technically they're also loyal to the crown too, so... Enough I can really afford that. So, well, next time. Hope you all enjoyed, thank you all, and have a nice day.